So let me put the brightness up here. Let's get it going. Step number one, finding prospects. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been involved in direct sales and network marketing for 20 years, made my first million at the age of 30. Biggest team I ever built was 120,000 people with the last network marketing company I was with. 17,000 people in another company. You know, I went from 17,000 to one company, and then the company after that was 120,000. But I built teams of 10,000, 9,000, 7,000, 19,000, and then finally 120,000. I'm very qualified to talk about this. That's why we have the fastest growing, most badass team in the entire company, Team Freedom, right? So skill number one is finding prospects. Make no mistake about it, this is skill. Finding prospects, not prospecting people, but where can you find these people? This is absolutely a skill. So as far as prospects are concerned, we're talking about customers, we're talking about consultants, we're talking about ambassadors. What is the way that what are you doing to go out there and find customers, consultants, and ambassadors? This is a skill. Are you going to networking groups? Are you posting ads? Are you working your warm market, which everybody should? Are you calling leads? What is it that you are doing to go out there and find prospects? So this is a skill that you have to develop. You've got to develop a skill of finding prospects. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're somebody that's out there door knocking, which is a beautiful thing that we could do in this business. We could door knock. In direct sales, most direct sales companies, 99% of direct sales and network marketing companies, you cannot go out there and door knock. You're not going to get any customers. It's not the best use of your time. We are lucky that on a shoestring budget, you can go out there and door knock, and you could potentially make $10,000 in a week or more by door knocking. You don't even need flyers or business cards, even though they're recommended. Okay, you can't do that in most places. You could go out there and write your own check. Go fail forward, learn the script, get to a training, get to the door knocking boot camp, right? And go out there and make it happen, right? So, anyways, let's say, for example, I got a guy on my team who's a door knocker. He goes and door knocks, and he has his flyers. He's got door hangers, and he's got a QR code that says, and his philosophy is this. He says, listen, JC, if they're not a homeowner, when I'm out there door knocking, I am pitching them solar, and I'm going for the jugular. I'm there to get bills. But if I identify somebody that is not a homeowner, guess what I'm going for? I am going for the jugular to make them an ambassador at least. And he's got a QR code on his flyer, on his door hanger, that says, look, scan this QR code, right? And he gets them to do it right there. Scan this QR code. Anytime that you refer anybody that gets solar with us, our company will pay you $1,000. Then he proceeds to ask the questions. By the way, and he proceeds to find out if they're open. If that dialogue leads to something positive, and that dialogue leads to the person saying that they're open, he'll go for the consultant. Let me give you the numbers from this guy. 96 ambassadors in a 2-month period. 96 ambassadors he did in 2 months, door knocking with that QR code on there. Why? Here's one thing that I teach. I teach the 90-day blitz, right? We have that training in the event. We have the training of 90-day blitz. I'm switching it. Here's what it is. It's 90 days of savagery. Write that down. 90 days of savagery. That means that you know what savagery is? It's a savage. Somebody that's a savage does savage things. It's called savagery. I think I just made that word. For 90 days, all out massive action. You're eating, breathing, living this business. You're prospecting for something. Consultants, utility bills and customers, and ambassadors. Nonstop, and you're not, let's say you only work 8 hours, you're not working 8 hours during the savagery 90 days. You're working 12 hours, 13 hours during the savagery 90 days. I recommend, if you're serious about the 90-day blitz, go in the Team Freedom website training and go through the 90-day blitz, okay? So finding prospects is a skill. For example, networking groups. There's real estate networking groups everywhere. Luckily, about the cool thing about our industry is that we are in an industry where door knocking is acceptable and it's a great way of making money. So am I saying that you have to door knock? Absolutely not. You do not have to door knock. Okay, let me see if I can get this moved to get a better angle here. Let's see if this looks a little bit, because it looks better for me too. There you go. Okay, that's a little bit better. So door knocking. Another thing is networking events. Real estate agents have networking events always. Here's another thing that real estate agents do. They have networking events and they look for sponsors. You could go out there and sponsor one of those events. What about fairs? What about swap meets? What about farmers markets, right? There's so many ways, but guess what? Finding prospects is a skill. Now, here's what I want you to, here's a little side note. As you're going through every one of these, I want you to write down on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you're terrible, 10 being you're an expert. Where are you at finding prospects? Where are you at inviting people to view your product or opportunity? And the rest of them, 7 steps. I want you to write your notes and then rate yourself. I'm a 5, I'm a 7, I'm a 10, I'm a 1. I want you to rate yourself, okay, guys? And by doing that, you're going to understand why, especially why I'm doing this at the end. So finding prospects is absolutely a skill. So find out what are some of the ways. I'll give you an example. I was doing door knocking, right? Not traditional door knocking, but the new homeowner list training. That training is already recorded. How I got to mentor in 11 weeks with no sales experience, very little credibility because I had 3 failed businesses in 2 years. So my war market was burnt, okay? When I started with POP. How did I get to mentor in 11 weeks with strangers? New homeowner list. The training on exactly what I did step by step is already in the Training Academy, teamfreedomtraining.net. You got to find what works for you, right? Some of you guys are going to be door knocking, hosting events. Gyms is another place that you could post up a booth. They'll do it. They'll let you do it usually for free all day. Last time my brother did it at a gym, he got 10 leads. One thing that they were not doing is they weren't pitching people on the ambassador program. And the ambassador program is such a cool program because guess what? It's a non-threatening program. It's not even a pitch. Hey, you want to earn $1,000? Here you go. If you ever refer us, blah, 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 scan this QR code. Here, let me send you the link. What's your phone number? Does that make sense? But you finding, some of you guys didn't even realize that finding prospects is actually a skill. Guess what? It is a skill. Number 2, inviting people to view your opportunity, your product or opportunity. The invite itself is a skill that you must develop. So my question is, what is your system for exposing people? What tools are you using? Better yet, what third-party tools are you using? I'll give an example. Here's a third-party tool, right? Here's a third-party tool. So watch. When I go over here to, let's go to number 3. Actually, no. So inviting tools, right? Inviting people to view your opportunity. This Super Saturday, we taught on this book. This is called Making Your First 10 Million. I'm going to order another 500 of these books. You could go to makingmyfirst10million.com and buy this book. This is a book. Look at how small it is, right? Look at how small it is. 32 pages, big print. You can read this in 10 minutes. It's a book by a guy that's worth over $38 million. 38 million bucks he's worth. And he talks about how he started as a real estate agent and how he transitioned to a business with leverage and residual income, which guess what? That's what we've got here. This book here, Ramsey says this book changed his life. I got it. For those of you guys, by the way, Jessica, text Al Brown, tell him that I am in a meeting and I'm using my phone. Tell him that I will call him after this meeting. I got a prospect. I shared it in the Telegram group. If you're on my team and you're not in the Telegram group, you got to get on the Telegram group. If you're on my team and you're not receiving my text messages and my emails for these meetings as reminders, you got to contact me and my assistant and we'll get you on there. Ramsey bought 100 of these. Yes, you buy 100 of these, they're $1. They're $1 each. So you hand it to somebody, right? And here's what I tell people. Hey, bro, I have an incredible book about money, how to attract more money into your life and how to attract passive residual income into your life. If I give you this book that takes 10 minutes to read, will you 100% read that book? Yes. Then they read the book and it talks about money, how to attract money, how people repel money, and the importance of residual income. And he tells the story how he made his first 10 million bucks. Then at the end, he says, the person that gave you this book has a way for you to earn a passive residual income. Contact them. Do you guys see the, it costs $1, it costs $1. Let's say you're broke. I've been there. No, hey, listen, no shame in that. I think we've all been there at one point or another, right? Let's say you don't have a lot of money, right? You don't have to give them the book. You can lend them the book. Hey, John, listen, I got a book. You should do the same pitch and say, but I promised my friend Jeanette that I'm going to let her borrow it as well. But I'm not seeing her till this weekend. If I let you borrow this book, bro, it takes 10 minutes to read. Will you read it before the weekend? Yes. Awesome. And you hand them the doggone book. Dude, I'm telling you, what if you invest $100 in these books? I don't make any money by that book. I'm not giving you a link. I'm not an affiliate. Okay. I'm buying 500 of them so I can pass them out myself and so I can sell them to my team. I sell them. He sells them for $3 individually. If you buy like 50, you get them for $2. So I buy them. Hey, if you buy 10 of them, you get them for $2, right? If you want to buy 100 of them, buy them from his website. And I think shipping is free if you buy them from his website. So here's my point. What if I get 100 of these and I pass out 100 of these? Watch today, watch my Facebook and my Instagram. I'm going to mention about this book. And every time I do, I get people that hit me up for it and I mail it to them. It costs me like 50, 60 cents to mail this book to them. And it fits in an envelope. That prospect. This is just one way of you prospecting people. So inviting people to view your opportunity is, and we went this Saturday through the scripts. Do you want to know how to invite? Go to the teamfreedomtraining.net and go to, I think it's module 3 on prospecting and recruiting. And I have the recruiting mastery training on there. I get into all kinds of scripts on inviting people, but guess what? Inviting people is absolutely a skill. Here's one of the things about inviting people. Okay. You've got to don't spend 100 minutes with one person, rather flip it. You want to spend 1 minute with 100 people. Amateurs convince, professionals soar. These are a couple tips I'm going to give you when it comes to inviting. Amateurs convince, professionals soar. An amateur is going to try to convince somebody. The book, How to Influence People says, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. I'm not in the convincing business. I've got a tremendous opportunity and I'm looking for the lookers. Write that down. As a builder, you are looking for those who are looking. Not everybody's looking. And I'm not, here's another tip. Don't be emotionally attached to the result. Matter of fact, I'm grateful when somebody tells me right away that they're not interested. Why? Because I get to move on to the next person. And I move on to, because here's the deal. I know that I'm building an empire. I know that the empire is going to get built regardless. In the amount of time that I put down on my goals, whether you tell me yes or you tell me no, whether you stay with me and run with me and get rich with me, or you quit next month because you have some problems with your project management, I'm going to get rich anyway. You could stay or you could go, but I'm going to go. I'll see you at the top or from the top. You understand? So I'll see you there if you want to come on this ride with me. And if you don't want to come on this ride with me, I'll see you from there. But I'm going there. Does that make sense? So when you're inviting people, listen, where are all those people going to come from? I'm going to have 100,000 consultants, 100,000 consultants in 4 to 5 years of my organization, 100,000 active consultants. JC, where are all these consultants going to come from? Wherever they're at right now. That's where they're coming from. No, but where specifically? It's none of my business. You know what is my business? Go into every day and have a successful day. Work with the willing. Prospect new people, sell. Sell, recruit, train people to sell and recruit. Sell, recruit, train people to sell and recruit. And believe bigger, faster. Believe this is going to happen. Continue to improve. And it's inevitable. Regardless if that prospect tells me yes or they tell me no, tell me yes or tell me no, but tell me fast because I got to go. Number 3, you got to develop the skill of presenting your product or your service. Or are you a good presenter? Is being a good presenter a requirement for success? Depends what you consider success. You want to make $100,000 a year? You don't even have to build a team with this company. You can just sell solar. But you have to know how to present it, right? Can you build a nice passive income without selling solar? You sure can. You got to get 1 install every 6 months to qualify for your overrides. So my point is, you don't necessarily have to be a good presenter. So a lot of you guys are earning a great passive income and you don't really present. But if you want to really go to the multiple 6 figures or 7 figures, if you want to create freedom, time and money freedom, you got to become a good presenter. I'm going to be doing trainings on how to be an effective presenter. How many of you guys, tell me in the chat, how many of you guys, which I see what the team needs. And listen, there's a lot of things that the team needs. No leader is going to know exactly what they need always, right? Everybody's at a different stage. How many of you guys, let me know in the chat, would appreciate and like for us to do a training or even a boot camp on becoming a better presenter? I want you guys to put it in the chat, okay? So is it a requirement? Not a requirement, but it is a requirement if you want to make a multiple 6 and a 7-figure income. So we will be doing trainings on how to be more effective presenters, because here's the thing. How many presenters do you have in your organization now? If you're not a presenter yourself, it's hard to duplicate presenters. You want to have layers and layers of leadership, and you want to have layers and layers of presenters. The more, what does 5M stand for? I want you guys to put it in the chat. 5 M's. What does it stand for? Put it in the chat. Let's see if you guys are paying attention to the trainings. What do 5 M's stand for? Well, it's taking a long time to figure that one out, huh? There you go, Luis. Luis Rangel, making me proud, dog. Maricruz, making me proud. More meetings mean more money. You could only do so many meetings in a 24-hour period. But what if you got 10 presenters? What if you're able to do 1 presentation per day at somebody's home, at a lunch and learn, at an office, at a realtor's office, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. 1 a day, 5 a week, 5 a week. You take Saturday and Sunday off. But what if you got it somewhere in your organization, a total of 10 presenters that are doing 1 a day? Now you got 55 presentations happening in your organization versus 5. Not only is it going to be 11 times more, 10, 11 times more, but it's actually more than 10, 11 times more growth. You know why? Because of the excitement. The more people there is, the more excited. Your trainings continue to grow, right? Your meetings continue to grow. The meeting size and the amount of meetings in your group. How consistent are presentations happening in your organization? Which kind of goes hand in hand with bullet point number 2. But presenting your product or skill, your product or service is essential for you to become successful. I recommend that you develop that skill. And the cool thing about this business is that the mentor program, you're having somebody else present for you. Recruiting people, you could bring them to tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, opportunity presentation, powerhour.com. Okay. You want to become a better presenter, you better see a bunch of presentations. Let me tell you why I became such a good presenter. Because since 2001, I went to an average of 1 weekly meeting per week, not including the training, just to see a presentation live for years and years, to where I memorized the presentation. One of the skills is to be prepared. One of the tips I'll give you for being a good presenter is to be prepared. One of the best ways that you could be prepared is to know the presentation by heart. How are you going to know the presentation by heart if you don't see it all the time? If you don't practice it? That just makes it 50% easier just by knowing the presentation. Now, let me tell you another thing that I used to do a lot of one-on-ones in network marketing. That means, hey, let's make your list of people. I'm going to show you how to call that list of people, and you're going to schedule appointments for us to meet with them at a Starbucks. Somebody's off of mute. Please put yourself on mute. Right? So here's what happens. We want to make sure that what I would do is make a list of people, and we're going to meet with them at a Starbucks, but we would also make a list of people, and I want you to call. I want you to get 10 people to confirm that they're going to show up to your house. We're going to pick a date, Wednesday, 7 p.m. You're going to have the launch presentation for your business, which, by the way, not enough people are doing that. That's called a PBR, private business reception. You imagine you get started, you invite people to your house, and you let them know that you just started your own solar business, right? And you want to share with them, which, by the way, this is in the recruiting mastery training that I did on teamfreedomtraining.net. And you invite them to your house to introduce them to your power business. At the very least, every single one of those people should be your ambassador. Why wouldn't they be? You just launched your own nationwide solar brokerage. I just want to inform you guys how our company works. If you have anybody that wants to go solar, our company will pay you $1,000. Costs you nothing, right? So let's go to PVRs. I would be in somebody's living room a couple times a week doing PVRs. But during the day, what was I doing? Meeting with one-on-ones at Starbucks. You bring your prospect, you introduce me, I do the same presentation over and over. I would do like 5 to 15 of those every week. That's what led me to $1 million income. Then I couldn't go to a local Starbucks, and I had people from my team at that local Starbucks meeting with people doing presentations. We were selling healthy coffee. We went to Starbucks, we didn't ask for coffee, we asked for hot water, and we gave them our own coffee. Then we showed them the opportunity, healthy coffee that pays you. That's what we sold. Trust me when I tell you, man, it's a lot easier to make money in the solar industry. There's big money in the solar industry. Skill number 4 that you got to develop is follow-up skills. Are your follow-up skills on point? And most people's follow-up skills in this, all the industries of sales, their follow-up skills suck. You got to be a follow-up expert. I forgot what the numbers are, but they say that only like 2% of people actually follow up with a customer a second time. 2%. But most sales are made after the 5th follow-up. After the 5th follow-up, most sales are made. Okay, and only about 2% of people, something like that, actually follow up. Actually, it's about 2% of people that follow up 5 times or more. But most sales are made after the 5th follow-up. This is just sales in general. It may be different for the solar industry. This is sales in general. So follow-up skills, right? Prospecting is what? I want you guys to finish that line, that first bullet point. This is participation. That's why you shouldn't be multitasking when you're on here. See, a lot of you guys, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to ask you permission to be honest and gut punch that ass. I'm going to be honest right now. Most of you guys, because it's so convenient, you take that convenience to another level. You take that convenience to another level. You got the opportunity to get trained by somebody that is the #1 mentor of the whole company, or whoever's on here has a lot of success. We don't put people on here that don't have results. Okay. So I'm not doing this to toot my own horn. Trust me, I'm not. It's kind of like when you play poker and you win a big hand. I'm not the guy that gets up and celebrates. Oh, I just won a big hand. That's a rookie. That guy just told you that he's not used to winning. This feeling is foreign to him. Winning for me in business is not foreign. I've been a top guy in network marketing, direct sales companies for more than 10 years. I've been $1 million earner since I was 30. I'll be 40 next week. So I'm not doing this to toot my own horn, dude. I'm doing this to let you know, you got millionaire people train you, multiple 6-figure people train you. And you could do it from the comfort of your home, from your cell phone. And some of you guys are driving or multitasking instead of sitting your ass down and taking notes. Then you call your leadership 6 months from now talking about shit ain't working for you. You know why it's not working for you? Because you're not working for you. This business ain't working for you because you're not working for you. You're multitasking. We ask you for an hour. There's people that are getting so rich with this business and you can't give it an hour of your undivided attention. That's why winning is easy, because most people are treating their business casually. And if you treat your business casual, you will become a casualty. You will quit. You will fall off the boat. You're gone. Hey, Louis Rangel. Okay, I got a question for you. What do they say about that guy that quit? What do they say about that guy that quit?
We don't remember him.
We don't remember that guy. Nothing. We don't remember that dude. Some of you guys are going to quit 2 months from now. 2 years from now, we're not going to remember your name. This train is going to keep on moving. This train is going to keep on moving. Matter of fact, it reminds me of a song. There's a guy named, does anybody know that song by George King or something? Somebody let me know if you know what song I'm talking about. George King, this train's going to keep on moving. I'm going to share that song on social media so you guys know what I'm talking about. Somebody quits. They ain't going to remember you, bro or girl. You're gone. I recommend you take your business seriously, man. Don't become a casualty because you're treating your business casually. All right? Thank you, Mario. The next one, following up with your prospects. We already talked about this. This is, so Prospecting is everything. The fortune is in the follow-up, and then work with the willing. You got to become an expert follow-up master. Following up is a skill that you must develop. Let's keep it moving. Number 5, you got to develop the skill of helping your customers and consultants, helping them become customers and consultants. What is your system for onboarding people? So, okay, great. You got to get good at, okay, this guy wants to be a customer. What do? You obviously know how to sign the docs. Do you know how to sign the docs? Do you know how to send the solar closing docs? Do you know how to send this other one? Also, consultants, send them your link. After you send them the link, what do you say? Do you have a standard phrase or even a text? I have a welcome video. A lot of you guys know that I got that welcome video. I shared in the group. I'll share it in the group again today. It's a video that I say, welcome to the team. Here's why you made a good decision to get started with this industry and this company. Here are the next steps. I'm an expert at onboarding people, showing them how to become consultants and showing them how to become customers. Over 100 plus customers last year, over 100 plus customers that I first closed the year before that. I know how to get customers on board and how to get them to install, right? Number 2, all-time sales in the company. Within 2 months, I'll be number 1 all-time sales in the company. Mark my words, okay? So do you have a system? Guess what? At the Mentor Factory, I trained on the onboarding system. What about when, okay, they pass certification, what now? Well, they got to watch the Fast Start training. How many of you guys, I want you to type in the chat, how many of you guys have already watched the Fast Start training? And for those of you guys watching on YouTube after this gets recorded, I'm going to put all of the links in the description of this video. How many of you guys have already watched the Fast Start training? So for me, I sign them up. I send them the welcome video. That welcome video tells them, guess what? Download Telegram. Get on our Telegram group. Are you on Facebook? If you are, Power Pioneers and the Team Freedom group, you got to get on those groups, right? You got to make sure that you let me know so we can add you to our CRM so you receive the automatic text messages. I want to give my guy, my new person, guy or girl, the best shot of success. If you want the best chance of success, don't leave it to chance. Write that down. If you want the best chance of success, don't leave it to chance. So now that you got these people, I got 3 whiteboards here in my office and 1 at home. I got my whiteboard right there. It's got my prospects. It's got my to-do list, right? It's got my key players, right? So what they sign up, they watch the Fast Start training, which is in the academy. I also have it in my notes on my phone. Hey, I sent them a message that says to watch certification. It's going to take them 4 or 5 hours to complete. Once they're done, you want to watch the Fast Start training, which is the link to the Fast Start training. And then after that, we're going to do what's called a game plan interview. I already trained you guys on how to do a game plan interview. I already gave you the sheet on what. Now you might have your own way of doing it. Good for you. I'm just sharing with you. I have a system for onboarding these people. Let's keep it moving. Number 6, you got to help them get started right. Okay. This kind of goes hand in hand with the other one. I kind of got a little bit ahead of myself. Help them get started right. So the first one, number 5, is helping them get started right. Send them the link, right? Guide them through it. Let them know about the certification, etc. Right? Is your system duplicatable as well? The next one is getting them started right, which is a game plan interview and their goals, right? You want to schedule their first meeting. In the game plan interview, I'm setting goals, when they're going to get their first sale, their first 3 sales, and their 8 sales, and I'm going to know how many hours they're willing to dedicate to the business. What is your income goal? How much time are you willing to dedicate? What if they tell me I want to make $100,000 per year and I got 1 hour a week to invest in this business? Those are unrealistic goals. Does that make sense? I asked what kind of prospecting are you willing to do, and I check it off. It's all there, right? So I schedule the first meeting, and then the question is, do you have a system that you can follow that has worked for others? I developed a system that's open to anybody, whether you're a part of my team or not a part of my team. This part of the system works for anybody, and anybody can use it. Because I believe that I cannot outgive God. I cannot outgive the Creator. Some of you guys refer to it as the universe. You can't outgive the universe, okay? I believe in a Creator. I can't outgive the Creator. I give, and I give. And let me tell you something. I get it back in abundance, okay? So let's keep it moving. Number 7. This is so key. This is missing big time. Everybody say big time. I want you to type in big time in here. If you want to go listen, there's some of you guys that want to earn part-time income. There's 4. Spare time income, part-time income, full-time income, and big-time income. There's spare time, part-time, full-time, and big-time income. Y'all getting me? You got to develop these 7 skills to get to big-time income. We're talking about the money comes faster than you could spend it. Okay? Become a master at promoting events. So notice that everything else you're building, finding prospects and presenting to them. That's you prospecting, getting people in. Having the systems for bringing them on board, right? Becoming a good presenter, duplicating presenters, right? Now that you've got a team, you got to become an expert at promoting those events. And guess who the first person is that you should be promoting those events to? Is yourself. You should be at every doggone event that you could possibly be at. You got a Super Saturday within a 4 or 5 hour drive distance, you better be at a doggone Super Saturday. Let me tell you something about leadership and team building. Your team is going to do, at best, 50% of what you do right, but they will do 100% of what you do wrong. Most people are simply announcers, not promoters. Most people are simply announcers. They just announce, oh, there's an event. No, Danny Pesci next. No. The man, the myth, the legend, Danny Pesci is going to be doing the training next Monday. I guarantee you we're going to have 150, 200 people. Here's the funny part. We're going to have more people next week than we do this week. This week's topic is more in tune to what we do as a whole in this company. And if you just listen, and this with all due respect, if you just listen to Danny Pesci to build power and you just listen to me, you'll make way more money if you listen to me. Because Danny Pesci is much better than me at selling solar. But I didn't become the number 1 mentor because I'm the best solar sales guy. I became the number 1 mentor because I'm the best builder. Because I know how to promote events. I know how to motivate people and get them into action. I know how to build a business with this type of comp plan, with this business model. But yet more people would show up to that, which is perfectly fine. It's understandable too. If you guys had Danny Pesci all the time, you wouldn't show up as often. Here's a difference though. A master, they know I'm showing up to this no matter what. You want your people to show up to this, you bet. I want to give a shout out to Anthony Bonilla. Look at Anthony Bonilla, how his team, he had like more than 10 people at the Super Saturday. The Super Saturday is about real estate. These events are about the Zooms, the leadership, the conventions is about real estate, meaning every seat is a piece of real estate. How much real estate do you own? How much real estate will you own at the convention this year? How many of your team are going to be on Zoom at the March virtual convention? And how many of your team are going to be in person? I think it's September at the in-person convention in San Diego. The more real estate you own, the better you do, because those people right there are going to be 2 years ahead of everybody else. Their vision is going to be way ahead of somebody else, right? Some of them are going to go from being wishy-washy to being all in, to being lifers, right? But you got to become an expert at promoting these events. I got people going to the Tampa event. Ramsey's one of them. I connected with a prospect from last week. He's going to the Tampa event. Ramsey's going to a few events out in Florida. And I got other people over there like Kevin Rivas. He's out there building. I got at all of these events, I got people going. And here's the deal. I haven't even done a great job of promoting those, but I do promote them. It's easier to promote the local ones, right? And I'm an expert at promoting these events. That's why we got so many people that show up. Nobody's doing Super Saturdays where people pay $20 to attend a Super Saturday. Nobody does that in the company. Nobody's doing that. They can't even get, some teams can't even get 30 people to show up to a free event. Okay? You got to become an expert at promoting events. Success leaves clues. Events get people to make the big decisions. How many of you guys can tell me that an event, whether it be a Super Saturday, even an opportunity meeting, a Zoom, a convention, where you made a decision that you're going to go from just tippy-toeing around this business to being all in? If you have a story like that, testimony like that, I want you to put it in the chat. How many of you guys have a story where at an event, I remember me at an event years ago at Ada, Oklahoma, I said, I was in the nosebleed sections. I said, I will be on that stage, telling my story on that stage in front of everybody one day. I'm going to be the number 1 guy in this company. I'm going to be one of the top guys. I'm going to be a 7-figure earner. It was at an event that changed my life. Anthony Bonilla said, Mentor Factory 2021. That's true. Before that, he wasn't really building a business. Now he's got over 200 people on his team, and he's got some studs. That dude's got some studs. He's got some killers. Zach Bach, right? Jordan Shaw. I mean, too many to mention. If I start right now, I'm gonna leave some people out, so I'm not even gonna go there. Okay, absolute studs. So your Super Saturday, the Mentor Factory, the virtual convention, and the national convention. These are events you got to be at, man. This is not your sales gig. This is not a job. This is your solar business. You have a career in the solar business. You got to switch your mind from being in power to power being in you. And then at these events, why are they so important? Because recognition. The company as a whole doesn't do a whole lot of recognition for, because they don't have ranks. That's why we created our own damn ranks. Let me show you what these ranks are. To give an example, I just created these Players Club, right? 2 sales and 2 consultants or ambassadors in the last 30 days or last month. Mentor Elite, 3 sales, 3 recruits, 3 months in a row, right? Executive Mentor, Chairman 25, Chairman 50, Chairman 100, and Chairman 200. Guess what? Now, because I understand this, I said, okay, we're missing something. Company doesn't have it. I'm going to create it. Anthony Bonilla, Chairman 25. Right? David Perez, Chairman 25. Javier Rodriguez, another person on my team. These are 3 different lines of business, Chairman 25. Luis Perez, Chairman 50. All of them are Mentor Elites. My brother's a Mentor Elite. Ramsey's a Mentor Elite. Ramsey's on his way to Chairman or Executive Mentor Chairman, right? At these events, the recognition, and my buddy, shout out to my buddy David Rendon, who shared this quote with me that I heard many years ago and I hadn't thought about in a long time. Recognition. Babies cry for it, soldiers die for it. People will work for a living, but they'll die for recognition. You gotta recognize your people. But guess what? At the events, you bring them up on stage. Let some of them tell their testimonial. And I guarantee you that other people in the crowd are gonna want to be on stage at the next event. Before the event going, people are gonna go hit the ground running. Why? It ain't for that money from getting that extra sale. It's for a certificate that's worth a lot less, dollar-wise, is worth a lot less than the commission they make on the sale. They'll run more for that recognition. Dude, I'm telling you, I've been doing this for years, dude. You gotta become an expert promoting events. But in order for you to really promote events, you gotta be at those doggone events. For example, how many of you guys are gonna be at this meeting in 10 minutes? This is an event. Once a week, be at this event. By the way, we got some incredible pastries today for those of you that are coming, and some coffee. Oh, Jessica, let's get the coffee. Oh, you got it. Jessica's awesome, man. She's my right-hand woman. She's awesome. So anyways, that's my trophy assistant project manager, okay? Right? And I say that because those are her words, and I said that's very accurate. You need to own the most real estate at these events. Remember, every chair is real estate. You got to own the most real estate at those events. At the convention, I want you guys to put in the chat right now. Patricia agrees, by the way. Patricia agrees. You see that? And Patricia, one of my favorite people in the company as well. She's incredible. Real estate professional, mentor in the company. You guys need a strong woman mentor that is an absolute sweetheart. You guys want to make sure you guys tag Patricia Ochoa. You want to develop the proper meeting etiquette. Let me give you guys a couple tips on the proper meeting etiquette. This is so important, guys. Super important. You got to train your team. Your team are like your kids. If I invite you to a barbecue at my house and your kids are running around breaking shit and saying bad words, I'm going to say, okay, that's on the parent. Does that make sense? Same thing with your team. So let me tell you some meeting etiquette. Early is on time. On time is late, and late should be unheard of. Early is on time is late, and late should be unheard of. Okay? You also want to volunteer and help. Hey, how can I help this event? You want to ask the host, how can I help? You want to sit in the front and participate. You want to sit in the front and participate. Don't go sit in the back. Some of you guys, first thing you do, you go sit in the back. What do you think this is, high school? The cool kids sat in the back? Guess what? Who got the worst grades? The ones in the back, the cool kids. You know, the smart kids, they sat in the front. The nerds, you got to be a nerd about this business. Sit in the front. Own the front real estate. You got less distraction. You sit all the way in the back. You got a whole bunch of people talking, moving, raising their hand. You're not giving the message. That's why you get there early and you reserve your seats in the front and you participate. You heard the same joke over and over. You laugh at the same joke that you heard a million times. Doesn't matter. The new guests, they don't know. It's the first time for them. That's who those events are for. At the trainings, you get the information. Okay, guys? So just a little bit about meeting etiquette. I recommend also try to pick up your guests if you can. If you pick up your guests, they're more than likely going to show up, right? And if they don't show up, it's because you didn't show up. Maybe you guys got a flat tire or something, right? So very important. Also, when you get to a meeting and you got a guest, two things you do. You introduce them to somebody immediately, make them a friend immediately. The second thing that you do is you get them a cup in their hand. You ever been to a party or a gathering that you didn't know anybody? Felt awkward to say you don't know anybody, you said it by yourself. You don't know what to do with your hands. Once you got a cup in your hand, you just right? You automatically feel better because you got a cup in your hand. So you introduce them to a couple folks, right? And you put a cup in their hand. You sit up in the front and you participate throughout the presentation. There's a whole training on meeting etiquette that I could go. I'm just giving you a couple little things because we got to wrap this up. And then every event, you should be at every single event, right? Especially Super Saturdays, regional events, conventions. And then if no event in your market, create an event in your market. So let's wrap this up. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in these areas? These are the seven steps that we went through. Somebody's off of mute. Please put yourself on mute. These are the 7 steps that we went through. Step number one is finding prospects. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Somebody's off of mute. I'm about to kick somebody out. Okay. So finding prospects on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Inviting people to view your opportunity. That's the invite, right? You're inviting people. That's where you use a book. That's where you use the 3-minute video, the full presentation, right? You want to know some invites? Go to the training academy, teamfreedomtraining.net, and go to the recruiting master, okay? How to present. How good are you in presenting? Following up with your prospects. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Helping people become customers and consultants, and then getting them started right. That's number 6. And then becoming a master at promoting events. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in promoting events? Here's where you want to be. You want to become a multiple 6-figure earner. I'm going to tell you where you need to be on all of these. And if you could make multiple 6 figures, you're on your way to 7. Multiple 6 figures means 200,000 and up, right? Because that's multiple 6 figures. 7 figures is $1 million. You want to become a multiple 6-figure earner? I'm going to give you the formula. Here it is. You got to have a 7 on every one of those areas at least. Your goal is to develop your skills to a 7 on all of these areas at least. 7 times 7 is 49, if I'm not mistaken. So when you multiply that number, I want to know where you're at in that number. And I want you guys to text me or message me or put it in one of the groups. I want to see where you guys be real with yourself. Where are you? If you do that and you're building your business consistently, I recommend that you use the 8-point system to see if you're doing the right business, the right activities. The 8-point system is a system that I created for doing the right activities. You got 2 points just for attending this training. You should generate 8 points daily. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this information. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And let's see. I got time for 2 or 3 questions, and then we're going to wrap this up. Feel free to unmute yourself. Let's see if I could unmute all. Okay. Any questions going once? If not, we're gonna close this meeting out.
JC, Mentor Factory is being moved, right?
Yes, so Mentor Factory, thank you, bro. Mentor Factory is going to be in the summer. We're not doing it in October because the convention is in October, so we're not going to do it right after the convention. The convention is in September, so I'm not going to do it right after, right? So we're going to have a Mentor Factory summer. Some of you guys got some incredible deal on the Mentor Factory, $100, okay? If you can't make it in the summer, let us know. We'll gladly refund you the money because tickets are not worth $100. They're worth more than that. So I was even like, damn, I should have sold so many tickets at $100. It was a crazy deal. So yes, it's going to be in the summer. Within the next month, I'm going to announce, within the next 4 to 5 weeks, I'm going to announce the official date. It'll probably be 2 weeks from now, okay? I'm going to announce the official date and location. Is going to be in Southern California. It's going to be even better than the year before. You guys know, it's 2 years already. It's going to be our 30th anniversary. People literally go from zero to hero after the Mentor Factory. I think it's the most powerful event the company has, that we have as a company, total. Because it's all training. I'm not corporate. I don't have to go through corporate stuff. We go through training and how-tos and mindset. It's absolutely a must, as Ramsey says. Cool, man. One more question. If not, we're going to wrap this up.
Hey, JC, this is Frankie J. Could you
So, Frank-
repeat you had started talking about next Wednesday, and I don't think you even completed that, about
Yeah, so